Hi, I'm Tom, a science teacher at a Japanese elementary school. Today, I'd like to introduce a handy digital memory tool I built using JavaScript. To explain it in detail, I created a video with Notebook LM, and to be honest, its explanation was even better than mine. If you are interested, feel free to check out my website linked in the description. Let's get started.
All right, today we're diving into a really clever memory tool called Oburamon. And its big claim to fame? It says it can take one of your biggest distractions and turn it into your absolute best study buddy. So, how on earth does it plan to do that? Let's find out.
You know the drill, right? Your phone. It's always painted as the bad guy when it comes to getting things done, especially studying. People blame it for everything. Bad grades, short attention spans, you name it. But what if we've been looking at this all wrong?
See, the creator of Oburamon argues that the phone itself isn't the problem at all. It's how we use it. And this app? It was designed from the ground up to completely flip that script, to transform that so-called enemy of focus into an incredible learning ally. So, what's the secret sauce? Well, it all starts with a little bit of science.
Yeah, this whole app is actually built on a really solid, well-established psychological principle, one that gets to the very heart of why we forget things, and more importantly, how we can fight back and stop it from happening. And listen, this is not some new tech gimmick. We're talking about a theory that's over 100 years old, from a psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus. He figured out that our memory fades in a really predictable way over time. But, and this is the absolute game changer, he also found that if we review information at just the right moments, we can flatten that curve and basically lock that knowledge into our long-term memory for good.
So this is where the app gets really smart. It completely automates those just right review moments for you. Check this out. You get an answer right once, you'll see it again tomorrow. Nail it a second time, and the app waits 3 days. Get it right a third time, now it's a week. You see the pattern, right? The gap gets bigger and bigger automatically. It's a super efficient system called spaced repetition, and it's all done for you.
Okay, so that's the theory behind it, but what does it actually feel like when you're using the app day to day? Let's follow a single piece of information, like a flashcard, on its journey from brand new to totally mastered.
So you start off by adding a new item. Let's say it's a new vocabulary word. If you get it right, great. It gets scheduled for a future review. But here's the tough love part. If you get it wrong, just once, your streak resets all the way back to 0. Bam. That card is coming right back into the rotation for you to try again that same day. But after you nail it 5 times in a row, the app decides, okay, you've got this, and it considers the card mastered and takes it out of the active deck. This is fantastic because it means you stop wasting time on stuff you already know and focus only on what you really need to learn.
And that right there is the core philosophy. This isn't about sitting down for hours and passively rereading your notes until your eyes glaze over. It's all about something called active recall. You know, the actual mental effort it takes to pull an answer out of your brain. It turns out, doing these quick little memory check-ins over and over is scientifically proven to build way stronger connections in your brain than one giant, boring study session.
So that's the foundation. But now, let's get into the latest version, because the developer has rolled out some really fantastic updates that make the whole app even more powerful and way more user-friendly. We're basically looking at 3 big upgrades here. First, making the app safer with a pretty cool AI-powered security fix. Second, making it way faster to get started with a bulk import feature. And third, giving you total control over your knowledge with a new export feature. Now, the story behind that security fix is actually fascinating. The developer, who admits they're an amateur coder, had totally missed a potential security hole where someone could inject malicious code. But guess what caught it? An AI. The AI code assistant didn't just flag the vulnerability, it gave them the fix. It's a perfect example of how AI is becoming this amazing collaborator for solo creators, spotting issues that one person might easily miss.
Okay, this next upgrade is a lifesaver. Seriously, before, Getting your flashcards into the app was a total pain. You either had to type them in one by one, or you had to wrestle with these complicated Excel macros. Now, you just upload a simple CSV file, which is just a universal spreadsheet format, with all your questions and answers, and boom, everything is in there instantly. It is a massive, massive improvement.
And that leads us to the final major update. And this one is all about giving you peace of mind. It's about giving you control over the knowledge that you've worked so hard to build. Because let's be honest, it's a common fear, right? You finally get a card mastered. It disappears from your daily quiz, and this little voice in your head goes, uh-oh, what if I forget this in 3 months? Well, the developer recognized this anxiety and built the solution right into the app.
The solution is actually pretty clever. First thing to know is that all your data lives right on your device, in what's called the browser's local storage. It's not on some company's server, which is great for privacy. The app keeps your data in 2 separate bins: quiz data, which is all the stuff you're actively learning, and deleted data, which is everything you've either mastered or manually removed.
And here is the brilliant part. The new export function lets you take that entire deleted data bin and just download it as a simple file. This means you have a permanent backup of everything you've mastered. You own your knowledge. You can take it with you and use it however you want. It's all yours.
So the developer's invitation is pretty simple. With all these improvements, the app isn't just a study tool anymore. It's a much more secure, efficient, and honestly, an empowering way to manage your own knowledge. And that really leaves us with a final thought. Whether it's a new language, historical dates for an exam, or a big professional certification, this tool offers a real, systematic way to conquer the act of forgetting. So the only question left is, what incredible knowledge will you choose to secure forever?